Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and I'm actually really excited to talk about this game. This is a game I literally just played an hour and a half ago, and I had a fantastic match, like a fantastic match. I went 21-3-16 on TIMBERSAW here, probably my favorite offlaner to play at the moment. It's just such a fun hero, man. It's such a fun hero. It has so much outplay potential. The laning stage has to be played in such a unique way, and I'm going to teach you guys how to just own on this hero, because you can see at minute 9, I don't have any kills. I do have 3 assists, which is unfortunate. But I don't have any kills, but it doesn't matter. My net worth goes crazy this game. Even with 1 death, you'll see if you take a look at the net worth charts, even with 1 death, I'm just way ahead because the efficiency you can have on this hero without killing anyone is insane. This hero should be played as basically a farming DPS hero, and if you can do that, you'll pop off. I think long gone are the days where Timber should be played as like this tank hero, and the reason why I generally feel that way, the hero shouldn't be played in like a Hood of Defiance, Vanguard, Crimson Guard in the pipe with like a Lotus. Like, the reason why I don't like that build is number 1, you can't farm that much because you have no mana regen, where Kaya completely solves all your mana problems. You're not tanky, but it solves your mana problems. On top of that, the big problem as well is reactive armor is just so bad nowadays compared to what it used to be. Because previously, it was 20 stacks max. You could tank a creep wave for a period of time, short period of time. Now it's double the time. It's a huge amount of time you have to tank the creep wave, because creeps only give 1 reactive armor stack per hit. Heroes do give 2, which was kind of like the change, but it's worse against creeps, which is how you build up stacks in the mid to late game. So it's much harder to just be reliably tankier. It's also worse against towers as well, so you can't just brute force down towers. Either way, let's get into the match. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the Game Leap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the Game Leap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. So in terms of items, I'm rushing movement speed. I think I buy a second set of tangos because I got abandoned. I got left alone in the early levels, so I'm like, all right, I need a second set of tangos. But you'll see in these early levels, I'm going to be looking to play generally defensive. Here, I'm going to go block the wave. I typically won't go for rune on Timber because I don't want to have to skill reactive most of the time. And even if I do, I'll take most of my health at the rune fight. So I'd rather block because this hero's level 1 and level 2 are not great. They're quite bad. You're looking to get over the hump, get to level 3, and then start ignoring the enemy. And so essentially what I do here is I'm going to look to pull creep aggro from mid and then pull aggro again and try to take the creeps back under my tower. And the reason why I specifically take them under tower here and not static it under outside of the tower is because I want to make sure that then I'll push out with the double wave. So yes, I do lose a bunch of creeps here. I didn't play this perfectly. Basically, what went wrong is this creep didn't aggro to me, and I could have ran back and tried to aggro it there, which I should have done. But I kind of just was like, I don't want to get hit by CM, but she really doesn't do that much to me. I could have ignored her. And she does a little, but it's kind of whatever. So I really just could have played up a bit more. And then yeah, I'm going to aggro again, use the chain to secure CS, and then I also chain into the CM here. And the only reason why I chain into the CM is I knew I was about to hit level 2, so that means I'll be able to fight them very easily. I'm level 2, they're level 1. But most importantly as well, my Tiny's connecting from the right. I was alone for the beginning, so I had to play Giga passive, but then Tiny shifts in and he skilled Avalanche, which is kind of weird, but it ends up getting the kill there. So yeah, works out. We get our kill. Well, I don't get the kill, sadly, but we get a kill. And I buy a Windlace. Now, the reason why I buy Windlace is I want to be able to run around and just essentially ignore the enemy. I also want to be able to chase down the CM if she tries to harass me too much. And the Windlace and the movement speed is going to be the best item to do that, actually. So anytime you play in a matchup that you don't want to play too hard, for instance, I don't want to play too much into this OD, as we get some really good pressure on CM. That was really great. But you can see now all I have to do is go behind the tower. So because we doubled up the wave, the OD tried to connect it to this wave, right? But now he's like, oh shit, there's creeps under my tower. So he has to go and get these creeps while I can deal with these creeps. I have reactive now, so I'm constantly regenning, and I'm very tanky. I have a ton of regen, I'm very tanky. OD doesn't have too much pure damage yet, so now we're just giga vibing, and we can look to cut the wave. And I'm basically going to cut the wave for the remainder of the lane now, right? You'll see I'm just going to stick in this area, and with level 2 and reactive, I'm not taking any damage, right? As long as I build up my stacks a little bit, the stack duration goes up, the bonus regen goes up per stack, the bonus armor goes up, it doubles the amount of stacks you can get. Right, you're just invincible. You're invincible when you get 20 stacks. You're completely untouchable, and if the CM ever runs at me, I'll just easily destroy her. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this double wave, I'm going to kill off the flag bearer because I don't want it to get contested, and then I'll drag it to the small camp. And I'll actually farm the small camp, right? No reason not to. It's good gold. It's 60 gold. It's actually like 2 creeps. Almost 2 creeps. So I take that, then I'm going to kill off the range creep, just because, once again, I don't want it to get contested, and I don't want to, like, potentially die and have a double wave that I lose creeps on. But yeah, now we get some good CS here, get the range creep deny against the OD, get a melee creep deny, because I know he can't harass me, so, like, I'm just ignoring him, contesting every CS, right? And it's very easy for me to play, right? I just can keep cutting the wave, because every time I do this, every time I drag the wave, it's like, what are they going to do, right? There's another creep wave pushing in, so someone has to go get this, because you might be like, why aren't they just both running at you? If they did that, I would just chain this way and ignore them anyway. I could easily just chill. I have 20 stacks of reactive, I have 15 armor, and 16 regen. They're not kicking me out, right? They're just not. And so and the wave is pushing under, so they have to go get the creep wave as well. And so they just can't, they basically don't have the time to run at me. Like, he can sort of try, but then my Tiny side pulls, right? So now Tiny side pulls, and by the way, I love the fact that Tiny's giving me solo XP. I think in some matchups it's bad. It's like Tiny might need XP to hit level 3 if he takes Street Grab at level 1, but this game it's good because he took his nukes, which I actually think ended up being fine, oddly enough. So he takes his nukes, definitely kind of ends up working. And then on top of that, he side pulls, which is great, because now they have to go contest that as well. And now when I get 2 points in chain, I'm pretty comfortable with using the chain to kill off the wave. Once again, I don't want to, like, get ganked and then miss a bunch of creeps somehow. I also do want to make sure I'm getting my levels up, so, like, killing this is going to get me to level 5. It also gets me to my mana boots, which is huge. And yeah, we went windlace into boots. The stick I bought at level 1 just to help me get through the early levels and not get kicked out, and also get some mana. But yeah, now we pick up mana boots just because it's basically the best mana regen item in the game. Kind of, like, considering how consistent it is and you don't have to sell it, it's very, very good. And then yeah, when we get our mana boots, I can start looking to really spam my chain. I do go 3 points reactive just because I felt that, yes, the OD sort of does counter me, right? He did last pick this into me. And by the way, you might be like, Speed, you're stomping noobs. Like, no, this guy's a very good player. He's ranked 48, right? Very, very good player. They have a CM, which I would argue is a hero that's okay against Timber, from my experience. And Odie, who's like, he's picking this to counter me, but it doesn't counter me that hard because his Q is a 6-second cooldown. So he can't just like Q me, you know what I mean? So now we're going to take the small camp again. I don't really like tanking this small camp because it reduces your regen by 75% when you get hit. It's a little bit annoying, but whatever. We're going to once again drag the wave, and the OD can't do anything about it, because if he chases me, I just chain away. I just cut the wave away from him. Like, yes, he runs at me a little here as I snipe his courier. That's hype. Free 200 gold for the team as a whole. And if he wants to run at me, whatever, I just ignore him, chain the wave, and kill it off. Now, he ends up running at me a little bit here, but once again, he just can't threaten me. And yeah, we have 50 CS in minute 6. Boom. Right? Like... It's ridiculous. I kind of hate the fact that Dota can be played like this, but this is the reality. It's just an option. You have to understand the small steps, because if you mess up one of the steps, things can kind of get weird, right? You have to understand, pull creep aggro early in the in the early waves, drag the creeps under your tower, play off the double wave, push a double wave in, then cut the next wave. Like, you do have to understand the steps and use this video as a guide to do that. But if you can do all these things, you'll just be at another level. You can never really lose a Timber lane. Kind of. You know, obviously there's heroes that are better against Timber, like Monkey King or Ursa, even though there's a lot of people who don't even think Ursa's that bad. And I actually agree with that. I really don't think Ursa's that bad, because he doesn't bully you in the early levels. By the time he threatens you, you can just have Boots Windlace and just ignore him. Like, and just chain away if he ever runs at you. It's like totally whatever. Also, fortunately, they have a Doom mid, which is not a hero that ganks me. So it's definitely a game where I can, like, basically be not afraid, which helps. That definitely helps. Here we run at the OD a little bit. We're only running at him here because my Tiny's in the area. What I do here I think is really, really great, which is, sounds so cocky, but it's the reality. So I see my Tiny walking up. I'm like, all right, I don't want to show him that I have a ward, because we do see him here. He doesn't expect me to see him because it's nighttime. This is not nighttime vision, but we do. And so now the Tiny goes in. I do get astraled, which Tiny could have won before he had the opportunity to astral me. That was a bit bad on Tiny's part, but whatever. We get the kill anyway. And now Rubik shows up, but I didn't want to dive tower because I didn't have reactive stacks, so I was paying attention to that, watching the reactive stack meter there. So I don't dive yet because I don't have the reactive. As Doom shows up bottom, I think this is where I get ganked, if I'm not mistaken. We kill off the Rubik. Do I get ganked soon? I would swear Doom ganks me at some point soon. But yeah, we're going to cut up the wave. And I didn't max out the E. I generally don't. Most people actually leave it at level 2 because that's when it becomes good enough to sustain you through the lane. As I said, I was a bit afraid of getting chipped down too much by the OD. I probably didn't need it, I'll keep it real. But the 3 stacks, it feels pretty nice. I'm not going to lie, it does feel pretty nice. But maxing out the chain as soon as possible is good, because it allows you to just chase people down and farm more efficiently. Yes, chain does go up in mana cost. That's something to keep in mind, but whatever. So I was afraid of getting ganked here, so I side pulled as the OD shifts over. And turns out my intuition was right. Unfortunately, he did end up tossing me in, which sucks because maybe I wouldn't have died. But I get doomed and I do die. But yeah, that's why I side pulled. I didn't know where the doom was. I shouldn't have went in because, as I said, I didn't know where they were. And you have to keep in mind the heroes that can gank you. I actually did keep it in mind here. I just didn't listen to my intuition. Fortunately, I was able to stay alive long enough, though, where my mid and my position 5 were able to shift over and pick up the doom return kill. So it wasn't too bad, at least. Next up, I end up TPing bottom, which I didn't have to do, as my Lina could play this area, but I don't think she really wants to defend the tower anymore at this point. My hero also just completely bullies Legion out. Like, she can't do anything against me, so I'm just kind of nuking her out of the lane as well. And Legion has to farm a lane. Like, yes, she can just full-time jungle, but it's not very fast. So, yeah, I can kind of push in the wave and just take the camps away from her, right? Take all these surrounding camps away from her. And with the Kaya, as I'm completing it up now, with the Kaya, I can farm like a beast, because clarities are 50% better, as I get run up by Rubik. But clarities are 50% better because of the mana regen amp from Kaya. So you just spam clarities and you basically have infinite mana as Legion shows up here. We're just going to chip her down. It's always good to chip them down. Don't overcommit too hard, right? I know I'm not going to kill her. I'm afraid of TPs. So I'm just chipping her. I just throw my ulti at her, making her uncomfortable. As Rubik steals some of my creeps here, so I grief his HP a bit. But whatever. If you know, basically how I look at this here is with the Kaya and the clarity, if they don't kill me, I don't really care about killing them necessarily, because I can outfarm them so easily. I can clear the wave and take 2 camps before the next wave. Like, I'm just doubling their farm, essentially. Not exactly because of passive gold, but I'm just outfarming them like crazy. Like, even here I jungle, and it's because I was afraid of a smoke. I think I was afraid of a smoke. Or did I dodge? Is this where I dodged a gank? No, yeah, I was just afraid of the movement. I saw the Doom moving the bottom. I kind of knew they weren't top. Like, and this is all good too, because Dawn got to farm top. So my Dawn got like a god game, because I left her alone, and this hero as a support is like one of the best farmers in the game. So her ending up farming top is like great for her game too. So I really feel like this kind of worked out. Some games me TPing bottom could get me punished because they could like bring all their heroes and kick me out, but I knew they were top previously. And the Legion doesn't threaten me at all. Like, it's also not a hero with, like, a good setup stun, because Duel is just not that good of a cast range. So I'm not, like, too afraid of playing that area. But yeah, now we just farm it up. Using the Kaya, I chain from tree to tree. I drag the camps together with my Chakram. I think I mess with the Doom a little bit here. Yep, just once again, chipping him down. So if a fight breaks out, or he goes on me, he's easier for us to counter kill. This chip damage adds up, right? It really, really adds up, as we even look for him here, as I consider trying to steal his creep here. I don't want to go on him because, once again, he's next to the tier 1. So I'm very cognizant of the fact that there is a tier 1 as... Oh, this was huge. This was a game-winning play right here. I end up getting ganked, right? So they shift over and they gank me, but I'm able to chain away, which is massive. I got the ulti chain away. The OD chased with the Tumbler's Toy, but it wasn't enough. And now, so we get vision of actually 5 heroes in this case. So we get vision of the 5 heroes, and now we hit level 12. And this is a very early level 12. I'm the highest level in the game outside of their mid-doom. Same with him. And now we have our Kaya Sanj too, which is a big timing, because you get 16% spell amp. It's so much. 16% spell amp, and every spell. It's crazy. You also get all the benefits from upgrading to the Kaya Sanj. The increased status resist. You get the increased health regen and lifesteal amp, the spell lifesteal amplification, etc. Even though I don't have spell lifesteal, you get the point. I get all this stuff, and so they TP in, and that's a big mistake, because oh, look at this damage. Because the Q does more damage per tree, and this guy's surrounded by trees, so my Q did like 300 damage with only 2 points in it. If it was maxed out, it would have done like 550 or something like that. Thank gosh I didn't have Q maxed out for him, because he would have died even faster, but I one-shot the Rubik. I get tossed in here, which kind of ended up working out, actually, because OD wasn't paying attention. He was afraid of the Pango roll, which is reasonable. But we kite out. I knew the Doom was coming in. This was kind of a good read. We saw the Scorched Earth. We saw the Doom. So we kite out to the side. We get this kill. It was a deep dive, and honestly, my Dawn and my Lina probably should have shifted over faster, but I guess Dawn has ulti, to be fair. But whatever. We kite out a little bit, just waiting for my spells to come back up. Chain not up, Q not up. So here, I wanted to continue kite out. I missed chain because, you know, I suck. It is what it is. We drop the CM. Gonna drop our combo on her. And then I think our Dawn goes in here and hits a nice combo onto the OD, so we can chase through, drop the Chakram onto the OD. Didn't want to commit yet because my chain wasn't up. I also didn't want to get Astral, so I was sort of staying out of range. Once again, too bad I suck. So then I walked a little bit too close and get Astral, so my chain didn't go off, but it's fine. We slowed him down with the Chakram, so we make a great play there. Follow onto the Doom, go and blow him up. And all of a sudden, we have a 5k lead, and we're going to be able to take their mid-tier 1 as well. So that was the game-winning fight. That mostly stems off the fact that I have an early level 12, and you skill it up, and then your ulti does way more damage, like way more damage. It's like 45 damage on the ult on each pass, which adds up because heroes don't. It's pure, and heroes don't have that much HP early game. So an extra 45 on each pass is an extra 90 pure damage, right? Every time you chuck a chakram at someone, and the damage per second increases too. But it's more about the pass damage, I would say. It does increase the mana cost by a lot, so you kind of need the Kaya to sustain it. Like, Timbers who don't rush Kaya or buy Kaya early will actually often skip the ulti at 12, but it feels great to take it. Like, it really does feel great to skill it up. But we're going to build a bunch of clarities here. I did go for the Hood. I felt that they still had mostly magic. Yes, the OD is pure, and he's kind of going to be the main person killing me mid-game, so maybe, like, the reason why I go Hood even though OD is my counter is because I feel like the heroes killing me right now at this point in the game is actually not the OD for the most part. It's going to be the magic damage from the other heroes. So I think it was reasonable. I'm not exactly sure on this one, so I can't tell you that I think this Hood was the best decision in the world, but there's at least a concept. As we take a fight here, this was a crazy fight. We go in, we get the Dawn ulti, and then we just delete the Legion. Absolutely destroy her. Legion pre-BKB just feeds to Timber as we find the OD as well. Chop him down with an auto, onto the CM next. Kill her off. I think we chase this Doom down. Oh yeah, he dooms me. yeah, he dooms me. And the Hood actually coming into play there, because it's way more regen as well. Way more regen, and it's so good against the Doom as well. Because we have the status resist. Like, this build counters Doom so hard. Magic resist, extra regen amped by the Kaya Sange, and then we have status resist so the Doom doesn't last nearly as long. Yeah, we go back to farming, pop our mana boots, buy more clarities as per usual. I think this is where I die, actually. This is where I overextend and die. Yeah, I committed pretty hard here, maybe not for a good reason. Oh, the OD lived on 1 HP. If he died there, maybe this would have been fine. I probably should have chained away here. I chained in, which was definitely stupid. I could have made them chase and maybe killed them on my next chain. Alright, so I kind of talked about how I feel like this hero is more of a nuker than a defensive hero. And that's why I just love going Blink. Now, I think there's a lot of builds I could have gone. I could have even went for, like, Heart. And the reason why is the Heart amp. The Heart region just gets completely amped by Kaya Sange, and you can be untouchable. Like, you can just become unkillable. And it's, like, definitely a concept. There's people who also go BKB so they can't get stunned or disabled. That would have been fine this game, too. I could have went Ags just because, like, you have Spell Amp, and once again, I'm playing, like, a caster build, so I could have went, like, Aether Ags and just played more of, like, a Chuck ulti at people type build. But this Blink is really cool, and it's really nice because it just... Timber has a hard time getting on top of people, which sounds weird because Timber Chain is Timber Chain, but you have to hit the line. There can't be, like, trees in the way. You know what I mean? And then you have to Timber Chain in, which means you're not Timber Chaining out. So essentially what you can do in a lot of fights is you can actually Timber Chain out. Now, I don't Timber Chain out a lot this game because often I don't feel threatened. But you can see I can go in, and then after this kill, I can kind of blink onto the next. It's usually more about... Oh, look at this Q. Bah! 550 pure damage. Timber Q in the tree line is just so crazy. Actually, 550 pure damage. On a 6-second cooldown, or 8, whatever it is. No, 6 at max, yeah. But either way, yeah, the Blink just... It's just really, really nice. You'll even see it come into play here, I think. Unless I overextend here. Yeah, I was a little bit afraid of blinking up the hill, which I think was probably correct. But, like, for instance, someone like this Rubik, right? Someone like this Rubik, usually I wouldn't be able to go on him because he would see the chain coming and then just, like, Force Staff or Lift or whatever, right? But because I have Blink, he has no time to react, right? And it just instantly helps me close the gap. I also bought my Shard. This is my patented solo kill the support build because the Shard gives you 640 magic damage and a slow, so you can stick on top of people like crazy. Like, you actually do so much damage with this flamethrower, and it's only 1400 gold. And with the Blink, you just get on top of them and just, like, look at this damage that I'm doing here. Like, I'm chopping this OD down to half health as well. And the flamethrower is doing crazy damage. This OD does counter me, so he nearly kills me somehow. Stupid ass matchup. What can you do? I considered going a Halberd earlier. I probably should have, honestly. As I do get chased down by Doom here, unfortunately. Maybe not the best chain. I could have maybe chained better. I chained into my team, which I think might... Oh no, I do live. Oh, I got Holy Locketed by my Dawn. That was so hype. That was so hype. Hit him with the well played. That was actually so nice. So I guess chaining into my team was correct there, because I even got saved by Dawn. Next up, I end up picking up this Eternal Shroud, which honestly, I don't think I should have. Yes, it can keep me alive, but it doesn't really help me stay alive from OD's burst with his Q, or Doom necessarily, so I don't know. It's probably bad, actually. Realistically, I think I'm supposed to just buy a BKB or like an Axe and just try to burst people that way. I don't think this Eternal Shroud is too good as we chase down the Doom here. Kind of the Blink coming into play there. Either way, at this point in the game, the blink also lets me connect to fights faster. So you'll see with this fight here, I get a really nice angle. I come in from the back. At this point, I'm so far ahead, which I'm not too concerned about my positioning. The only hero that really threatens me is like, I don't even think Doom can solo kill me at this point, probably. I feel like he can't. The OD is the threat, but I see him on the minimap here, so I can kind of do whatever I want. So we get a good cleanup onto the Rubik, as I kind of missed my ult, but we go ahead with the blink, so we instantly get on top of the CM, the chain into the blink, and now we can cut the mid wave. Oh, no, I cut bottom wave here because I knew no one would get the bot wave, so that kind of just amps up the farm of our team in total. And we used the flamethrower. Timber's shard also worked on towers, which is great, because you can tank the tower, but you can't really kill it, so the flamethrower helps out a bit with that. And then we're back to farming. We're going to pick up a very quick Ags now as we cut the bot wave, sell our wand, and we do end up dying. Is this where I die? I don't know, but like, look at this damage. I blink in, I get tossed, which is a bit unfortunate because I had a really good chakram on the 2 there. But we chain ahead onto the Legion and just completely eviscerate her. Like, absolutely eviscerate her. I even chase onto the OD. Is this? Okay, maybe this is where I die. Yeah, this OD hero is such an annoying hero for Timber. I definitely should have bought like a Ghost or a Yules or something instead of this Eternal Shroud. This Eternal Shroud, yes, it does heal me. Like, you can see it healing me here very clearly. So it's not horrible. It has its place, but it just doesn't protect me. If the game was closer, I could die to like dual OD, you know, but unfortunately we're picking them off, so that's not exactly happening as the Doom Chase is in here. Look at that damage, guys. This is what I'm telling you. I have also, by the way, does it show me how much spell amp I have? I have 30% spell amp at this point in the game. 30. This gives me 16. Wait, is spell amp not? Oh, is spell amp flat additive? Oh, I didn't know that. Spell amp's additive? Is that true? Actually, I had no idea, because 16 from Kayasan, 6 from Nethershall, and then 8 from the 15 talent, right? That's great. It's additive? Why did I not know that? Well, I guess hopefully that's a learning lesson for you too. I had no idea. It's like, look at this damage. 260 on the pass through. Both of them do 260. When I pull it through again, I'm doing 1,000 pure on like a 6-second cooldown. And they're also ticking for 78 pure as well. As I pull through. You always want to pull through, by the way, when they're just about to get out of it. Right? Because if you pull through when they leave, you don't get the pass damage again. So the key to a good Timber is to throw the chakrams, and when they're about to get out of it, you pull them back through. Unless you're trying to burst someone, then you just throw pull, right? You just throw pull, yeah. And I think we go into the Rubik here, chop him down. I had to get some mana, so I think I go back to base shortly. You still can have mana problems with this Ags, like you're going to have mana problems. As I queue up the Octarine, at this point I was kind of memeing. I think if this is like a pro game, I'd once again just go for like BKB, just to be really, really safe, because I do so much damage where I don't really need any item that ups my damage. I just need to make sure I don't die, frankly. I go the Octarine because it's like fun. I can blink further with the Aether, I can chain further, I can throw my chakrams to poke in the fights. Oh, this is where I go too deep. I meant to blow up the CM, but I end up seeing the Rubik, which was a mistake trying to kill him, as we do kind of chop him hard here, but unfortunately we are countered at the end of the day, so even though we're 23k up, it's just not enough. Alright, and then we end up taking one more good last fight here before the game ends, as the Legion goes for a duel, but she doesn't have BKBs, so that doesn't go too well for her, as she BKBs at the end of the duel. She should have BKB'd at the beginning of the duel, most likely, but we chop up the Rubik here to get the haste rune. They kind of chase on because they get 2 picks, but it just doesn't matter. I'm way too strong. The only thing I had to be afraid of is like the OD. So you can see I'm a little bit hesitant to chase up the hill, but then this guy's BKB ends, and I'm like, all right, whatever. They clump up, and look at this damage. Oh, I don't know why the Legion was there, but she just got spooked. Look at this. Oh, this is beautiful. This is why I love Timber, man. Against these strength heroes, if they can't dispel your thing, I didn't even hit her with the Q. This is just a Pango Swash and some Chakram. Just tear her apart. And there's no item you can buy. Like all this like pure damage shit, like this pure damage meta that's going around, it just doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. But alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you learned quite a bit. I'm really such a fan. This is a very hard hero. I think it requires kind of a niche playstyle right now in terms of cutting wave. I think it's very good to cut the waves nowadays. And like play the first wave defensive, then cut the waves. And then honestly from there, you have to play a very greedy style. I really like this Kaya style because I think the main way to play this hero is hitting a hard Kaya Sanj timing as early as you can, and then showing up to a fight with level 12 Kaya Sanj. Because like when you do that, I don't know, this hero just like chunks. You actually just one-shot supports. Kind of, not really. You like 3/4 supports. But okay, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace!